Hello and welcome, Fish here with another DCS Essential Guide to the F18. And in this video we're going to look at unguided rockets and guns. And you can see there's a variety of rockets that we can use on the F18 and a number of different racks to carry them. Now if we look at our stores page, we can see the designation for the selected weapon is the rack rather than the pod, and we can see on the main body there, the aircraft symbol, we can see the rack is the 61 and the 38 is the weapon type. So we're going to go to air to ground mode and we're going to select, using push button 6, the LAU 61s. And we can see there's a couple of modes. There's a CCIP and a manual mode, and there's also release types. There's in single or salvo mode, and that's pretty much it for these weapons. They are quite simple to use, and they're very effective, particularly given the large quantity that you can keep on board. You can see the rocket numbers there is 151 or 152 rockets. So they're easy to use. However, they're only close-in weapons, so you need to be deploying them in a low-threat environment. And you can see the symbology on the hood is the gun reticle symbol. And if I depress this and point it towards the ground, we're going to see the symbology changing, and we can see we have a release queue. The release queue you should only be releasing when you have a gap in the circle. You see that release queue will come down as we get closer to the target. And if we're going too slow, we'll never get the release queue. So we need to be going at a reasonable speed, because like I said, it's ultimately the rockets are still a ballistic missile. So you can see the release queue coming down, and now we get a gap in the circle and we get an in range, and now we can fire. We're going to come off there and we're going to line up for an attack on a group of soft targets coming from the north. And if you're attacking from a steep angle, it's always good to have your speed brake on to keep your speed down as you get closer to the target, and this gives you time to line up. So we're in singles mode. And I'm going to, before I go into out of singles mode, I'm just going to demonstrate how the missile looks, and you can see how it's ballistic, although it kind of the fins help it, but it still falls in a ballistic way. So if we just release one there and look at it, you can see very quickly it's run out of its rocket motor, has depleted, and then it will eventually start falling. There it goes. So while its trajectory will be different from the guns, it still has that ballistic trajectory. So we're coming back around to the targets now. And just manage our speed a little bit. I'm just going to speed this up. Okay, I can see those targets now coming down the road, so I'm going to line up for them. And we need to go to salvo mode. And we've got an in-range queue now. And I'm going to start firing. Well, let's come off the target. And we're going to come back around and we're going to use the singles mode to mop up anything that may still be active. So just manage our speed a little bit. and have a look. Yeah, there's at least one. Actually, there may be two there in a line. So I'm looking for the in-range cue, and we've got an in-range now. So I'm going to show you the accuracy or inaccuracy associated with the weapon. So you can see there's a dispersion. So they're not perfectly accurate. So let's come around again, and this time there's another group of targets here, and we're going to deploy our guns on these. So we're going to swap over from guns mode. Now it's important not to have the guns and the rockets boxed at the same time, because the queuing is related to the rockets and you will get incorrect queuing for the gun. So once we switch to gun, we need to switch off our rockets. It won't having both boxed won't prevent you from releasing the weapons, but you'll be wasting the rounds for your gun. So I'm going to come back around now, and we're going to deploy our guns, and it's pretty much the same symbology. As we get close to the target, our release cue starts to wind down anti-clockwise, and then we get the in-range. So the second group are there. Just want to get a better alignment. Okay, now let's go for it. I'm just air brakes on, and we have an in range. So I'm going to walk my target, my pipper on that. And air brakes off and away. So that was a pretty decent hit. So the last thing I want to demonstrate is the manual mode, and there's only one difference. Well, there's two big differences between the manual and the CCIP mode. In manual mode, we only get the gun reticule as you see it here. We get no ranging information. We also get another, if I go into manual mode, we gotta get another option on the UFC, and it's the reticle depression. So we can actually move the reticle, that gun reticle, down up to 270 mils. So I'm going to select, you can see we have, let me just go to autopilot mode in barometric altitude. So we can see we're traveling level now. So you can see the gun reticule is above the flight path marker. And if I go to press on the UFC and select the reticle and type in 100, we're going to depress it by 100 milliradians. So if I click enter, you can see the reticle drops, and you can do this anything between 0 and 270. In guns, we didn't look at it, but we also have a high rate and a low rate of fire. You can see using push button 20 there, and we have two different round types, M50 and PGU, so you can select one or other of those. Going back to the rockets, there's an option down here for the rocket motor type, MTR, and they can be M4 or M66, and I'm not sure whether this is implemented. I don't notice any difference in firing one or other in this version of DCS. So that's pretty much it, and I hope you found this video useful and interesting, and feel free to like, dislike, comment and subscribe, and until the next time, this is Fish out, and thank you for watching.